The MVP race is starting to look like a two-man race from the media standpoint. Most eyes are on either Jokic to become the first player to three-peat in the award since Larry Bird, or for Joel Embiid to finally get his time in the sun. Meanwhile, though, in the clear third spot is the Greek Freak. Giannis seems to be locked in for most as the third most valuable player in the league. But are we totally sure about that?
Personal, and so that foul was called, not a shooting foul. Giannis taking it all the way for the slam.
Oops, upside down.
That is the third best player in the league, or at the very least, the third most valuable. Whichever way you want to slice the criteria for MVP voting, it seems absolutely criminal that Giannis is having one of his best seasons of his career on a team that seems to be poised as the frontrunner to win the NBA Finals. There is some dangerous stuff going on over in Wisconsin. And what's crazy is there always has been. The media seems to have just gotten over it. But not me. No hate to Embiid or Jokic, but Giannis is my guy. And let's get into why. To start us off, let's throw out the stats. Giannis is averaging 31 points, 12 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. That puts him 5th overall in scoring and tied for 2nd in rebounds with Jokic. Yes, there is a scoring burst in the NBA this season, but 31 points is still 31 points. He's doing it through his usual arsenal of stretching Euro steps, earth-shaking dunks, and 29% from three. Hey, you know what? If you're this unstoppable everywhere else on the floor, it's okay to have an Achilles heel. Giannis doesn't need to shoot if he can do what he does inside and has the shooting around him on the roster. Because at this point in Giannis' career in Milwaukee, they have that machine finely tuned to operate around their star. In past years, Coach Bud tinkered with Giannis initiating offense on the perimeter versus playing more off-ball or inside on the post. But now they've found the sweet spot of his time spent inside and outside. And just a hint, a majority of it is inside. He powers his way to the paint, and then he has the ability to kick out to shooters like Grayson Allen, Joe Ingles, or Splash Mountain Brook Lopez. These are the kind of plays that have earned him close to 6 assists a game. Giannis has continued to develop as a steady ball connector when his bucket isn't coming that possession. But for the most part, the Bucks trust Superman to get his bucket. He's attempting 20 shots a game, the most in his career. He's carrying the highest offensive load in his career while still shooting 55% from the field. No wonder he's averaging the highest points per game in his life as well. So I'll be clear as we compare Giannis to the other two MVP contestants. This is a crazy close race. The Greek Freak is the clear third right now, but overall, these three are neck and neck in terms of debate in my eyes. What Jokic does on the court is honestly just unreal, and he's basically carried the Nuggets to the #1 seed. And Joel has been on a mission as of late. This is his time to earn his recognition finally. But now let's compare the numbers. Cue the chart. Our categories are number of 40-plus point games, 15-plus rebound games, and 10-plus assist games. First up, we have Joel Embiid. Joel has scored over 40 points 11 times so far this season, had over 15 rebounds 5 times, and double-digit assists twice. As the current scoring leader in the entire league, that's pretty impressive. Next up is Jokic with 40-plus points 5 times, 15-plus rebounds 5 times, and then double-digit assists a ridiculous 35 times. We understand what Jokic brings to the court. It's why he's been able to pull up in his horse and buggy for the past 2 years and claim the MVP award. But now for our guy. Giannis has scored 40 points 12 times. That basically ties with Embiid and more than doubles Jokic. He's grabbed over 15 boards 10 times. That's the other two guys combined. And then he's gotten 10-plus assists and under the radar 6 times this year. Obviously, Jokic demolishes that one, but at least it sheds some light on questioning why Embiid is so far ahead of Giannis in the polls as of late. Is it because the 76ers have been so red hot as a team? After an underwhelming start, Philadelphia now finds themselves only 3 games away from the Bucks and the #1 seed. The momentum shifting has gotten many to think this could finally be a year where we see playoff successes for both Joel Embiid and James Harden. The team around them is gelling, and in the last 10 games have a top-rated offense and 5th-rated defense. The 76ers are a clear #1 in net rating these past 10 games. But you know who's 3rd in these past 10 and has been steady for far longer this season? The Milwaukee Bucks. So if you want team success, I say look no further than in Wisconsin. I know Bud hates making adjustments during games, and sometimes that can bite them in the butt. But you're going to tell me you want Doc Rivers in a tight playoff series? Yeah, I don't think so. The Bucks have key contributors such as Drew Holiday, who consistently is regarded by players as one of the best defenders in the league and is averaging almost 20 points a game this season. Brook Lopez is also having one of his most impactful seasons in Milwaukee, with almost 16 points and 2.5 blocks. He has forced himself into the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, which honestly should have Giannis as a way more prominent name in there as well, but that's for another video. You match Brook Lopez's interior anchoring defense and Giannis's unmatched help D, and you're about to have a bad time trying to score in the paint. That's only if you get past Drew first. Chris Middleton has been working his way back into his old prominent self after injury, and he's continuing to look better, and who knows what he could be by deep in the playoffs. Because, reminder, Giannis propelled his team to the #1 spot in the East, with his usual sidekick gone for most of it. They also have Bobby Portis, and let's be honest, who doesn't love Bobby Portis? The wide-eyed hustler has unmatched energy come playoff times. Milwaukee is the best rebounding team, best in defensive rating, and pair that with a top 10 in points per game and 4th in three-pointers made thanks to guys like Grayson Allen, Joe Ingles, and Lopez, and you've got a recipe for a finals run. So what is it? Is it the best player on the best team, ungodly personal stats, or purely narrative? If Giannis is averaging 3 points less than Embiid, 1 more rebound, and 1.5 more assists, why the big gap between their votes? The Bucks beat the Nuggets as the first 1 seed to 50 wins, and without Jokic on the floor, the Nuggets look like a struggling play-in team. You can definitely say that helps Jokic's case, but the eye test can see through those advanced stats of Jokic on the other end of the ball. Both Giannis and Embiid are on another level on defense compared to the offensive juggernaut out west. Narratively, I think we have to be real that it might be hard for voters to make Jokic a three-peat for MVPs without any real production in terms of championship aspirations. This is the year he'll need to prove he can carry a team up to that class, something Giannis has already done, something Embiid is still trying to do. Joel has both his offense and defense firing on all cylinders right now, but who have we seen time and time again that has the power to take over games? Giannis can enforce his will on the basketball court. So the Bucks sit at 51-20 right now on top of the Eastern Conference and won 7 of their last 10. It seems like a championship run is inevitable after falling to the Celtics last year. If we're lucky, we'll even be able to see Giannis versus Joel in the 2nd or 3rd round. If Giannis can't win the MVP and Embiid gets it, it's going to be a series for Joel to prove that he is actually above Giannis. Because we know on the other side of that matchup, Fear the Deer is going to be locked and loaded. Giannis wants his dang MVP back, with ridiculous personal stats and a team that seems like it's at the top of the entire league. This guy isn't the best in the game. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.